Floyd and he was me,
Yeah.
he would never have to fight again because that exhibition shit,
Yeah.
as me being his little brother, hey, little bro, we finna do 10 rounds and we both gonna get 100+ million for it.
Right.
And we ain't never got to box again. Well,
Right.
well, I already been getting these back, but now it's time for you to get.
Yo, you know the deal. We back again. We never slacking. Word 'em up. Ladies and guys, whether if you drunk or you high, it's time to pay respects to the illest man alive. If you think you got a point, he'll shrink you down to size. And from there it's downhill like a slinky or a slide. Open your eyes, got a deep connection with the rise, so you might see them jump in whenever they go live. Peep it, this channel blowing up now, it's not a secret. With tons of exclusive interviews to listen to. Them other channels I hate, but yo, they missing clues. They start narratives, sip the goose and twist the truth. It don't take a rocket scientist to get the proof. Just click the live at 4 p.m. Eastern time. But when you chime in, make sure you keep it kind. But if cowards want to debate, then it's feasting time. My man Jusdu shine busy all the time. Grind 24/7, 365. Videos he might have 365. My rhyme's sick, they make you do a 365. You get a rich if you think you fit to survive. It's Jusdueboxing, time to click the live. Ain't no beginners, if you soft, you ain't down to ride. I crush you, respect too, it's Jusdu. He got the illest boxing show on the internet. The boy been a threat and he ain't even had dinner yet. Word 'em up. Yeah. You know what time it is. $4 p.m. Eastern. Click the link.
In the building. Make sure y'all subscribe to Jusdueboxing, the best boxing talk on YouTube.
Jusdueboxing in the building, 4 o'clock shorty, man. Y'all make sure y'all check him out. He's going to be live today at 4 o'clock, man. And he's going to be spewing some good stuff as he always do with an unbiased approach, man. He's probably the most unbiased channel on YouTube.
What's going on? And one of my favorite channels, if y'all into that pugilistic perfection, if y'all into that boxing, that's that boy Jusdueboxing here on YouTube. Make sure y'all check out Jusdueboxing, the only unbiased boxing channel on YouTube, because I am definitely biased when I talk about boxing. So
as always, we got to shout out everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to my brother Jusdu. Y'all make sure y'all go sub to Just, man. Just doing a hell of a job over there. Had a great interview today. The brother, and I say it respectfully, one of the most non-biased individuals that I've ever heard speak on the sport of boxing. And I got a lot of love and respect for my brother Just, man. And right now, we're going to give him his just due. Shout out to my brother Jusdu, man. Much love and respect.
What's good? What's good? Salute to the family. How y'all feeling on this good Friday? How y'all feeling? I'm feeling good. It's a nice day out. We back to build on this boxing and get my boy Keith Cologne his just due. You know, he just fought a couple weeks back. I think April 12th he fought. And he got another knockout, man. First round knockout too. So he been on the road, man. He been on the road since turning pro, man. And, you know, he been, you know, him, shout out to him and Big Keith, his pops. He been making sure that they stay in contact with your boy. And they always, you know, willing to come up here and build, man. And, you know, we just going to do how we always do. Shout out to the young champ. Give him about maybe 5:30 or so he'll be through. But in the meantime, we going to build for a little bit while he getting situated. And we going to talk this boxing, how we always do. How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? Shout out to the family. Shirt getting on my nerves, man. How y'all feeling today, man? I don't like this shirt. I feel like I'm getting skinny. How y'all feeling today, though, man? Shout out to the fan. Where we at it? Getting closer to 1 million likes. I know we is. Cash Sports. Shout out to the Box Story and my guy. All things. What's good with it, bro? Damon in the building. Banks, my dog. What's good with it, bro? Peace to the queen. Lisa, how you feeling today? Tim, what's good with it, fam? 2 cents in the building. How you feeling, bro? Yeah, that was my guy, Dub, Mr. Respectfully. I thought I, put the little compilation together, all the people that, look at me as one of the most unbiased guys in this space, if I might not say so myself, But yeah, man, we're gonna build a little bit today, man. You got, like I said, keep to about 5:30 or so and he'll be through. But I wanted to get here a little early, warm up the oven, turn the oven on preheat. Excuse me, y'all. Samuel, what it do, homie? Rob in the building. What's good with it, bro? How you feeling? Take a little swig of the canteen. But yeah, man, we're gonna have Keith back in the building. Like I said, man, he hit the ground running, and it's always good to be able to see these fighters' careers from the very start. You get what I'm saying? And that's what it is with him. I've been able to, talk to him while he was still an amateur. You know what I mean? After the pro debut, got to see him fight, got to, meet him. Good kid, good energy, man. Just talented, he hungry. And I think he on his way, man. It's always cool to be able to use this platform to shed a light on what's good with boxing, right? I think this is a guy not only just putting on for Jersey, but for not only for Newark, not only for Jersey, but for boxing. I just think we got another, bright young talent in the sport that the light constantly needs to be shed the light on. You get what I'm saying? The light constantly needs to be shined on guys like Keith Cologne that get in there and do it the way he's supposed to, right? He handling business. Like I said, he's been very busy, active. After turning pro, it's been less than a year. I believe July will be a year that he's turned pro, like July 6th or something to that fact. Your boy do his homework. But, since then, he's been, like he's been hitting the ground running, constantly getting knockouts. These guys are not, they're not really testing him just yet. I got to be honest, man. He handling the competition so far with flying colors. And I think he already been having some difficulty getting guys in the ring. So when he get here, we're going to talk to him a little bit about that. Being that this is Conor Benn and Chris Eubank fight week, right? This is their fight week. It is big story coming from that fight is Conor Benn missing. I mean, not Conor Benn, Chris Eubank missing weight by like 0.5 and being fined $500K, $500,000. You know what I mean? So I wanted to ask him about weight cutting and stuff like that. See how you feel about that, man, because it's just a big, I think, issue in boxing. And sometimes people ignore it. You get what I'm saying? I think weight is something that really needs to be addressed, man, and spoken on more. You get what I'm saying? And who better to hear from than fighters that have to go through these things themselves? So maybe he haven't had to experience anything that Chris Eubank had to go through for this camp yet, and good for him because it's too early in his career for anything like that. But just want to get his thoughts on that and a few other things. We're gonna build, man. We're gonna talk, but we do got this fight coming up, y'all, between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn. We seen the rivalry that brewed and manifested when his father, the fathers were boxing, right? When they were in their primes, right? They fought each other, and now it's spilled over into the sons. And if you ask me, it seemed like the sons don't like each other more than the fathers, right? The fathers, it seemed like that was more competition with Conor Benn and Chris Eubank, man. These dudes don't like each other, man. They really seem like they don't like each other at all. But, it's a lot of little takeaways from this fight. You get what I'm saying? Both guys are making some type of sacrifice. I do believe that sacrifice Chris Eubank has been more detrimental to him making his weight and making it through this fight. Before the weigh-in and stuff, I had my ideal of how the fight might play out and which way it might go. But after seeing this dude weigh in and stuff like that, man, I just don't know. Like, I'm telling you, like, that's the worst thing that could happen. The last time he lost and he had got stopped, it was by Liam Smith, a guy that's definitely not better than him. But he got stopped because he got caught. He got caught cold. And I think he was doing a similar, he was like weighing in and going in the sauna and sweating off the last few pounds. I think he did that for Liam Smith part 1. I think he's doing that again for this fight. And they had him jumping out of it looked like a damn cocoon he was jumping out of, like a sleeping bag or something. You get what I'm saying? This dude, they baked potato this man. Like, I just don't know how I feel about like his chances now in this fight. Because, Conor coming up, he might still feel good. You know what I mean? Even him, he might be hindered by the weight too. But I hope Chris Eubank is able to rehydrate properly, comfortably, and be able to perform, because I just didn't like what I seen, y'all. His eyes look all big and shit. Like, yeah, I don't like it, man. I get it that you cutting weight, but I don't like to see no fighters jumping out no damn sleeping bag, bro. Bro jumped out a damn sleeping bag. You get me sweaty as hell. I'm like, man, what's going on, man? What the hell? That's why your father ain't want to be a part of this. This is exactly why your father wanted nothing to do with this fight right here. This is exactly why, bro, because you killing yourself to make the weight. You literally killing yourself to make the weight. It's crazy, bro. It's nasty work, man. It's nasty work, man. That's why I say, man, if you're a fighter and you growing, man, just take your ass up. Take fights that make sense, man. This is a risk. I know they paying him good for this, because some shit just not worth it, man. And seeing how he look and just knowing the history of sports and how important brain health is, and just know not only are they depleting their bodies of fluids when they cutting this weight, they're depleting the brain of the fluids. And they always say it's harder to put the fluid back in the brain than it is in the body, right? And I think that's where guys fall short and end up like miscalculating and end up getting hurt. So all I'm saying is I ain't trying to raise the alarm, but if it's any red flag, that's the red flag for me. I don't want to see no fighter cutting down extreme weight like close to a fight like that. That shit is extremely tough, man. That shit is extremely tough, man. It really is. It's nasty. Shout out to AJ64. What it do, man? Thomas Hill, my dog. What it do? Say something gonna help his hand. Yeah. We had talked about it. I had played it on here. Shout out to Melanie Queen. How you feeling today, sis? Derek taking Tank and Jake in November, according to Eddie Hearns. Yeah, man. We're going to talk about it. Keyshawn was right. Tank a fraud. Now, Keyshawn just be talking shit. Keyshawn know that Tank is the real deal, too. That's why they want to fight him. I just think, shout out to my baby girl, the Queen, Miss Just Do. How you feeling, baby girl? I just look at it like this, and we building to keep getting the building. Like I said, maybe 15 more minutes or so. He should be here, and we gonna get the build going. But Jonathan 97, what it do, family? But look, check this out. I understand how fighters talk, right? Keyshawn is talking like how a fighter talk. He's talk shit about Tank. Tank talk shit about him. That's just something that fighters do, right? It just is what it is at the end of the day, right? But real always recognize real. And if it's one thing for sure, two things for certain. The guys that would be potential opponents of Tank Davis, they know for damn sure that dude is talented, that he's dangerous, that he's everything is advertised, that it is nothing about him that is a fraud. When you hear fighters say that don't mean that they really truly believe that he a fraud. They just talking shit. You get what I'm saying? It's just a little trash talk, because that's what fighters do, right? So I take that stuff. I don't take that stuff too seriously, right? It's just trash talk. That's just something that, it's a part of boxing. But at the end of the day, they all know what each other's skill and talent level is. Like, I always say this: if you want any indication as to what the fighters think about each other, listen to the interviews and the different clips of before these dudes became each other's competition for the most part, right? It's a genuine line of respect there. Like, if you listen to Keyshawn when he told you about how he sparred Tank, he'll tell you that he learned a lot from him. So for him to call him a fraud, it ain't like he being fake. He just saying like the way he move and, but it's a lot to unpack when you consider Tank Davis's moves. It's not just him running around being scared of nobody. Like, we got to stop thinking that dude is the legit real deal. Like, the people solidified and stamped him as one of the guys, man. Like he gifted. He just got it, man. And it's a lot of people, you know, they just can't make peace with it because he's not doing exactly what they want him to do. So they gonna complain. But like I said, man, I'm a realistic supporter. I understand what we want as fight fans, and we got the money to pay for the fights, and we want to see what we want to see. We bloodthirsty, right? But at the same token, I'm real enough to acknowledge what it is that the fighter might want too. And I said this time and time before. What we be wanting sometimes for fighters, they want something different for themselves. Our ideals of what great is and their ideals of what great is, being that they're the ones that's actually putting in the work, sometimes it's on different levels, man. So none of these dudes is frauds. At the end of the day, you always want to see guys go out there and challenge themselves to the best of their abilities. But just know this, when it's all said and done, when it comes to making a fight, it's a lot of shit that got to go right for fights to be made. I'm telling you, I can't stress that enough. Like it take the smallest thing and a fight could fall by the wayside. So you just gotta pay attention, man, to what really be going on, man. These guys ain't scared to fight each other, but dudes do have plans. Dudes follow the plans of their promoters and their teams, and that's just the way boxing has always been. But at the end of the day, man, money, in my opinion, will always be the driving force with any of these fights. So before I get to thinking that somebody is scared as to why a fight didn't be made, I'm going to always at least acknowledge and analyze the business side of it to see if everything was on the up and up over there before we get to calling somebody a duck or labeling somebody scared. So in this particular situation with Tank and certain fights that haven't happened, I don't think there's nobody on boxing on either side of the spectrum that could say the reason that the fights didn't happen is because he's scared. I don't think nobody would be able to prove that. You get what I'm saying? So you just got to sit back and learn and understand the business of boxing, and you'll get a better grasp of why some of these fights don't happen. And you'll know that it's not just as simple as the fighter, one guy saying, yeah, I'll fight him. There's a lot of shit that got to line up too. That's the part people don't like to hear, but you know, it's true. Shout out to Sid. He just fought April 12th. He'll be here shortly. So I definitely asked him when he's expecting to be back in the ring. Lewis 4500. My guy, what's good with it, bro? Old school in the building. How you feeling? So you just, you know, this shit is just Mike Ron, what it do, homie? Y'all hit the like button like the Queen said. It got hot at 35. We going to 40. You know how I go. You know, dudes just don't be wanting to lose, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, certain situations and timing got to align. Like people had plans, but believe me, man, boxing is very strategic, man. Not even just inside the ring, outside the ring too. Like as well as they got to navigate themselves inside the ring, in or around the ring, and when they fighting, they got to navigate through the business of boxing as well on the outside. So it's always something to be figuring out. And I think at the end of the day, man, you know, you got guys just simply out trying to make the best decision possible. And I think a lot of times the best decision that they see fit at the time don't align with what fans at home want. So that's how we get the complaining and start whining. And, you know, you just got to support these guys. You know what I'm saying? This shit is a tough sport. It's a brutal sport. And I think the more educated the fans become, the better the overall sport will be. You know what I mean? We'll stop calling guys frauds. We'll stop calling dudes ducks because we'll be educated to know that that's not the case. You get what I'm saying? That's where I'm at with it. It's all about educating yourself about this sport and not just up here saying silly shit, trolling or, you know what I mean? Just talking like another, you know what I mean? Chatterbox. My prayers go for good brother Mike Ron. Good health and recovery. Yeah, prayers up to you, Mike. Much love to you too, bro. And again, shout out to my brother Jay Hardcore. Prayers up to him and the fam as well. Much love to y'all, man. We're going to keep building, man. But y'all smash the like button. Like I said, we warming up the stove a little bit. Hey, bro, that's what's in their soul. Yeah, man, we got to... Yeah, they misgot it like crazy, man. But we gotta educate the people, man. I told you one of the responsibilities of being a content creator is being responsible with the things that you put out over the airwaves, always. You know what I'm saying? Integrity and, you know, morals and principles will go a long way, man. And McQueen, what it do, homie? Hope Eubank Jr. is healthy after this. Yeah, let's finish talking about it for a little bit. We got a little few minutes before Champ get in the building, but yeah, like it concerned me. I ain't even gonna lie to you, bro. This definitely concerned me, and I ain't one for you know, like exaggerating or stretching things, but like look, let's check it out. Let's check it out. We're gonna watch it together, y'all. Check this out. This man looked like he got out of a damn sleeping bag, bro. Like, look at this. Like, yo, what? Bro, what? Man, nah, bro. That ain't even it. Like, and look, from the outside looking in, I could already imagine the sacrifice and how difficult that is. But I don't want to see that. Now, I get it. I respect sacrifice and that y'all put it all on the line. But, bro, what? At what cost? There's nothing about that makes me feel good that you gotta, that's you. And shortly from the, you know, this time tomorrow, a little after, you're gonna have to be in the ring and expected to perform at peak condition, right? At optimal form. You're supposed to be in optimal form by the time fight night come, and they got you saran wrapped up in a damn cocoon, a sleeping bag, bro, wrapped up with blankets and all type of shit. Like, what's going on? What's happening right now, bro? Like, this ain't it. And I know missed me with all the, oh man, it's just part of the boxing. This ain't it. This don't need to be it right here. They already sacrificed enough as it is. That's why I'm for the fighter. That can't be good health wise. And I know we all seen the fight. I know y'all all seen the fight with Chris Eubank and Liam Smith in the first one. I know we all felt like, yeah, Chris Eubank should go out here and beat this guy. And then look what happened. He out there sweating it out in sauna suits and all types of shit. Then you get in the ring and get sparked early, get knocked in the corner. Like he was looking crazy in there. You know what I'm saying? He got Bomac for the rematch and got his lick back. But case in point, it was another one of those camps where you know, you killing yourself to make weight. It's no good, dude. Like check this out. Man, getting out of sleeping bag, bro. Man, he about to fall out. Care about you flexing? Bro, tired as hell. Nah, man, ain't no way that's good. No, I don't know what you flexing for, bro. Bro, dead on the man. I hope for the sake of boxing, for your career, that you rehydrate accordingly, bro. I really do. I'm rooting for you. That's wild though. Like it's crazy. Wow. Wow. I get it. Like, notice the body language, like slump, like he's slumped, like he's standing, he's like, man, he's bent, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Time to jump in the sauna. Now the fun begins.
And look, he said it's time to jump in the sauna. What? I'm not bugging. I'm not one to exaggerate or stretch it or drag something. Bro said he about to get in the sauna. After that, you would have thought, yo, that's no more. He already baked down to like whatever weight he's at, and he still missed weight. That's the crazy part. And then he can't go over 170 for the next weight. Man, I don't know, man. I don't know about his chances no more. Big shout out and much respect to Chris Eubank Sr. I get it. I won't say nothing else, bro. I get it, bro. I get it, man. It could be a UK thing. Mr. Grandy was good with it. He risking a lot. It is crazy, man. Dad was cringing. Yeah, his dad, bro. His dad, look, man, watch. Hold on. We're going to get to it, man. We got a couple more minutes before Champ get in here. About it. I know I'm the clip king. I keep it. Hold on. Somebody just mentioned his dad, that Chris Eubank. Shout out to him. Adam was good with it. I saw Keith Cologne on the live just before his first fight. It's cool that he's 5-0. Yeah, shout out to Adam. Yeah, big shout out to Keith Cologne. Renee Boxjung, my God. Why is he name in white? I got to get you right, bro. Hardcore Casual. What's good with it? Behind the Hands TV. Eubanks look like just for 12 cents a day. I can help him out. I'm telling you, bro. Don't usually fight at 160, 68, Banks. He was up there at 68. So he done baked ZD. He done baked ZD himself down to this unhealthy ass weight to make this fight. That's why his dad is. I'm gonna pull up the video with his dad, the little short clip. His dad ain't feeling this at all. He done got emotional about it. He done like gave examples of like people with brain trauma. He just ain't feeling it. Now I'll shut my mouth completely. I get it. I get it, Pops. I definitely get it, Pops. Pops ain't feeling it. He like, nah. He like, yo, y'all both about to ruin y'all careers out here for one fight for the money. And he like, yo, it ain't worth it. Pops ain't feeling it. Pops ain't feeling it. Watch, I get this clip up real quick. Pops, he like, man, he calling it a circus. He don't want to be part of it at all. And I'm telling you, he said it out himself. He said, you seen it already with the Smith kid. He brought up that fight. He seen it. You seen it with that. You get what I'm saying? Hold on, give me a second. Man, Pops is pissed off about it, man. He like, man, Junior won't listen to me. He pleading with Junior. Junior is not listening. Junior like, man, he like, Pops, we about to get this money. Teach, what it do, fam? He said they couldn't get a guy with 0.5. Like, yeah, that 500K was nasty work too. A 500K fine is disgusting work. Disgusting work. Disgusting. Disgusting work, y'all. Disgusting. All right, man. Let me get this back. All right, let me play this. Look,
Yeah,
this
was a fantastic fighter, is a fantastic fighter, but he's too heavy. Okay, he is a 168-pound fighter. For him to get down to 160 now is too much for him. So Conor would be fighting someone who has lost his punch resistance, which was proven with this Mr. Smith. Again, I don't talk against my son. I'm there to protect him because I know how dangerous this young man is in Conor Ben. I know how dangerous he is. 147 fights 147. Leave Junior alone. Chris Eubank Jr.
Told you he ain't feeling it. Pops ain't feeling it. He like, bro, you gonna be fighting somebody with some compromised punch resistance. That ain't it. I mean, yeah, it sounded like the money was good. And that's what he acknowledged in another interview. He was like, you're doing this for money. It's not worth it. Like, it's two careers in one. One guy's a 47-pounder going up. Now you got to worry about after you done went all the way up to 60, you coming back down to 47 and being at the top of your game. It's just risky as hell because we seen it. We seen what happened with guys that come up all that weight and try to drop back down. Your punch resistance be compromised or shot. Sometimes you end up getting stopped, knocked out, or losing, right? So not being able to take a punch the same way, all of that stuff. So that's what his father is speaking to, and he would know. You get what I'm saying? He fought somebody that he caused harm to in the ring, right? So he know, man, and I get it. It's like I know it's going to be extremely tough. I doubt if he even watched the fight. I'm pretty sure Senior going to tone the fight out. I'm pretty sure he's not even going to tap into the fight. I'm pretty sure he's going to be like, the hell with it. Get what I'm saying? His other son, Sebastian Eubanks, died of a heart complication at just 29. You know what he sees, right? And I think that's the one that Chris Eubank was talking about with the pain. With pain, so he can't rehydrate. Nope, teach. Can't rehydrate over 170. Or he'll face even more consequences, more penalties. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that 500K is nasty work, bro. $500,000 is crazy. I ain't even going to hold you. For 0.5, yeah, I get it. Make the weight like that you signed up for, but shit, I know what y'all, man. I like this fight a lot less now after seeing the lengths that he had to go through to make this a reality. I don't like it. I don't enjoy it at all. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I don't like it. I feel like at some point you really could hinder your career moving forward, man. You know what I'm saying? You could really damage yourself, and I can't stress it enough. I'm all on board. His father opened my eyes. The documentary that we sat up here and broke down about the dangers of weight cutting opened my eyes. Like, I'm just not a fan of seeing nobody burrito up and shrink down to make no weight, where you looking all like dead. Like, then he had the nerve to try to flex like he was good. You not good, bro. And I don't even know why you flexing, because you definitely not good. Look at his eyes. How big his eyes look. No. I don't know if I like this. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think I like this. Not gonna hold you, man. He's standing there, sitting there looking like eyes all big and shit. Man, not the New York State Athletic Commission. That's funny. Nah, man, look at it this way, bro. And we gonna kick it. Champ should be here shortly, but I'll say this, right? It's not that he a fraud, bro. These dudes are in it. They're prize fighters, bro. They in it to make money. We gotta stop thinking anything else. Like, you have opportunities like what he had with a Jake Paul. You might not want to see it at home, but put yourself in them shoes. And with the money that he's standing to make, would you take the opportunity? Look at it that way. Oh, all right. Shout out to my guy, man. Champ is in the building. We want to welcome back the future world champion. That's 5-0 right now, 5 KOs. Keith Tsunami Capone.
What's going on, man?
What's good with it, champ? How you feeling?
Everything good. I can't complain. How you?
And I'm always good, man. Every time we get to chop it up, man, it's always a good day, bro. Always, definitely, man. Shout out to you and Pops, man.
Thank you.
We gonna get to it, man. We're gonna get to it. So I'm glad to hear that you feeling good, man. I see that you making a hell of a start to your career, bro. Tell us about it. You just fought April 12th. I mean,
yeah.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, like you said, just my goal has been to start off strong. Mark my name in the sport real early and just keep on putting great performances and showcasing my skills and my talent. I work hard in the gym, so it's going to show come fight night. That's what's been happening.
Right. Man, hey, listen, the performances is definitely showing. And I got a quick question, man. I thought something was funny because I seen you post a link, how to watch the fight, and I made sure I downloaded the Twitch to make sure I, tuned in.
Appreciate that.
I seen the work, and look, you got your guy out of there fast. Now, am I tripping that if you look up on the screen, I put this picture in the thumbnail, you had this mean mug on your face, like, not that you was mad, it just looked like, damn, man, I thought he was going to put up more of a fight than that. You just had to look like you wanted to do more.
Nah, I'm going to be honest, like, so the week before, the week before that I fought, I was supposed to fight the week before, and I had a solid opponent that was, coming in there to test me, and, like, he was 15-9, and basically, that was supposed to be my best opponent up to date, but the fight fell through, and I ended up not fighting, and so they was able to put me on for next week, which I fought that guy, but I was just mad because it's like, you work hard, you prepare for something, for a challenge, and you don't get paid for overtime, but at the same time, you don't want to make these sacrifices for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't supposed to be in there with me. I took him out, and it is what it is. I literally went in there and did what I was supposed to do. You feel me? I don't get no extra praise for that. I was supposed to do that. So
Right. No doubt. And I respect that. And for sure, you always gonna be real with yourself. That's gonna take you a long way. You know better. You're supposed to get him out of there. But it's funny because I felt like I caught that in live time and I wasn't even there. I'm looking at your face. I'm like, he was expecting something different. He was like, you had that look like, yeah, on to the next, man. But
yeah,
I'm glad you stayed
I did what I was supposed to do. I did that. I was like, all right, cool. know.
Right. First round
Even
knockout.
if you like, even my team, you know, it wasn't like everybody wasn't like jumping up and down, like
Yeah,
it was like
yeah, right.
it was just
Very
going through the
subtle,
job.
like all right, calm and cool. I get it. And let's speak about you know, you spoke about your opponent falling out. Now, not even that we care about the reasons. It could be a number of different reasons, but speak to that. You being early in your career, because we talk about that a lot on this channel. A lot of us, or a lot of, should I say, a lot of people, oftentimes when fights don't come to fruition, we go right to, oh, somebody ducking, and just how frustrating is that, you know, for you to have to deal with that so early.
Yeah, it's frustrating. I want to say that, you know, sometimes it ain't the fighter's fault. You know, meaning even my opponents sometimes you know, it ain't their
Right.
fault. They would accept fights, but
Mhm.
it's a whole lot of like, it's literally like it's a fight in a ring, and then it's a fight outside the ring, which is like the business aspect. You know, you
Mhm.
gotta deal with promoters and the commissioners, and you know,
Right.
they kind of make it hard as well sometimes. You
Mhm.
know, to make these fights possible, and
Right.
you know, that's all I'll say. You know, in that aspect, it's just like, you know, it's not only that fight with the like with my opponents accepting the fight, but we also fighting against the promoters
Mhm.
and the commissioners to also approve the fight. You know, and like I said, this was you know, a person that should have been, you know, that I should have fought. You know, he's 15-9, I'm 5-0. Like that's a solid, evenly match. You feel what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And it should have happened, you know. But
Mhm.
God willing, you know, my next fight, we'll be able to get a nice solid opponent.
Right. And speaking of that, real quick, next fight. Not that you trying to skip ahead, but I know you ready for 6, maybe even the 8 rounder at this point.
Yeah,
When do you
yeah,
expect to,
definitely,
you know, when do you
definitely.
expect that you'll be getting a 6 rounder or maybe an 8 round fight?
Really, my next fight. You know, it was supposed to be my last fight, but like I said, my fight fell through, man. And
Mhm.
you know, shout out to Pro Box because they was like, yo, even though your fight fell through, we going to try to get you on for next week. You know, just so at least
Mm.
you could, just so at least you able to get a fight. You know, and so
Right.
like, you know, your training camp don't go to waste. And I was like, yo, I appreciate that. So it was a 4 rounder, but I'm grateful that I even got a fight because, you know, like, man, we put so much hard work into this camp, you know,
Mhm.
so at least we got something out of it. That's how I'm looking at it.
Right. See, stay positive, man. Great head on your shoulders. And I truly appreciate the insight that you just gave us
For
because
sure.
you're a fighter. You in the mix of this stuff. You ain't sitting up here. You already, and I know this ain't the only time I think that you had an opponent fall out as well. So you already getting a dose of what it's like. And you
Definitely.
explained it and you elaborated so well. And I just want the people out there that's listening. Do you notice everything Keith said? Nothing he said had anything to do with fighters being scared or fighters ducking. It's all about educating yourself. There's so many other aspects that go into a fight. One of those things go wrong. Next thing you know, now you fight off and you don't work this hard and it don't come to fruition. And then we get on the internet and we like, oh, he ducking without knowing anything. So I appreciate it, man. I appreciate
Most
the
definitely.
insight. So, you know, again, I noticed, you know, 5-0, 5 KOs. You ain't been past the second round. You know,
Nah.
you've been 8 rounds, but you got 5 knockouts out of them 8 rounds, man.
Yeah, some of them ain't even been, you know, one full round, you know,
Right,
so
right,
you know what
right.
I'm saying?
Less than 8 full rounds, and listen, these guys are going, but you know, you got to get your work done. Like you said, no
Yeah.
overtime that you get paid for. But um, with that being said, with you having these knockouts, right? With you getting rid of these guys, do you feel like you making a statement that you set out to make?
Yeah, in a way, I definitely do. But at the same time, it's just, you know, like I said, that's what I'm supposed to do. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So that's why we're looking for these bigger fights. Now, once
Mm-hmm.
these bigger fights is, you know, head for us, and you know the knockouts still accumulating, then, then it's something different. You know, but
Right,
as of right now, you know, that's what I'm supposed to do. You know, to these
right.
fighters. You know, especially early on my first couple fights, where it was just me, you know, getting adjusted to the pros, getting
Mm-hmm.
comfortable in the pros. So
Mm-hmm.
now, when I'm able to step up and get these tougher opponents, it's like, all right, come on, now it's time to, you know, showcase your
Mm-hmm.
talent, and now let's see what you really have. You understand what I'm
Right.
saying? So that's all it is.
Right, man. Respect to that, man. And I see that you listen, as a young fighter, you doing everything on your part, crossing every T and dotting every I. So when,
Definitely.
like you said, when you do gradually move up, you will be ready for those fights. So I wanted to ask you, like, I noticed, early in guys' careers, a lot of times y'all don't quite settle in just one weight class because it's hard to get fights. So you got to be a little flexible. With that being said, what do you feel like possibly could be an ideal weight class where you'll end up kind of settling in that and making a run?
Like if it was a perfect world, like me,
Talk to me.
I'm a fighter, and and I also go to school. I'm in college, so
I
it's
love
like
that.
it's even hard dealing with both, But if I was just a full-time boxer and I was able to wake up box, go to sleep box, and have a nutritionist, I could easily make 122, But living
Mhm.
how I live, and I go to school, I go to the gym. I do everything on my own. I don't have a nutritionist right now. I don't have certain people to take that load off of my shoulders and make sure that, I'm my best every training camp, that I'm fully you know, like I'm replenished with all nutrients
Mhm.
and everything. So like for right now, the ideal weight for me is 126, and also because it's not that many 122 pounders over here where I'm at. So it's just easier to find 126-pound fighters. Whether we coming up like getting them down from like 130s, 132. Like for example, my last fight, I fight at 126, but my last fight was at 128. Like if they like we just trying to get the fights. You know what I'm saying? We
Mhm.
just trying to get the fights, and that's what it is. One
Right.
of my fights, it was at 122 or 124.
Mhm.
It's supposed to be at 122, but for the opponent, we just made it 124. So it's like we just if, we trying to make these fights happen. However, we
Mhm.
gonna make them happen, and that's what it is.
Man, again, bro, I appreciate the insight
Yeah,
because you giving game to the fighters to the fans and the people that's at home listening, the supporters, giving game to what goes into making a fight and what y'all go through just to get in that ring and showcase y'all talent. It's more than just y'all signing a contract and getting in the ring. It's a lot of it's a lot of steps before that. But something interesting that you just said. Let me find out, y'all. Did Keith Cologne just admit to us that he's not a full-time boxer? But do you see what kind of does that take away from his talent? And I'm going somewhere with that because more recently, Shakur Stevenson fought a guy that wasn't a boxer full time. He had a job, and we kind of, well, not we as in me, but you had a lot of detractors treating it like, oh, because he doesn't box full time, that makes him less of a fighter. And you're a prime
right,
example of how that's not the case.
right,
You're a you're a legit fighter, but you have other priorities as well and things that you have to take care of. So I definitely
exactly,
salute you for that. And you're just a prime example of how you can do other things as well as taking boxing serious, because that's exactly what you're doing.
for sure.
So shout out to that, man. But so you said 126, ideal weight in a perfect world, 126 maybe.
Nah, in a perfect world, 122, but for
Oh,
right now,
yeah,
126.
22. You said 22 with a
Yeah,
nutritionist and all that stuff. But
yeah.
I get it. I get it. But I think you're doing well without it, man. And you just gonna keep moving forward, man. So something I
And if
want
we being honest,
to.
122 is not far fetched. One of my fights I weighed in like 123.4. So
Mm-hmm.
you
So it's
know,
possible if
yeah, yeah.
you get the right situation in place. But we rocking with you regardless of what weight class you're at, though, man. But we just want to see you fight. But
Appreciate that.
something I wanted to circle back that you spoke about pro box, and I was gonna ask
Uh
you
huh.
about that anyway because I noticed that you fought on a number of different platforms already so far in your early career. What did
Right.
you like? What was different about pro box? What did you like about them?
Pro Box, they got a solid team. They
Hmm.
real organized. Um, they super organized. Like it's real easy for the fighters. Come fight week, the weigh in. Um, what they call it, like check in. You get what I'm
Hmm.
saying? The fighters check in, coaches check in. They got everything super organized. The weigh-ins, the fights, to the point where it makes it easier for the fighters. Some promotional companies, they
Hmm.
not as organized. They say weigh-ins is at 12. It start at 3 o'clock. Like this right here be life or death for us. You know what I'm saying? Y'all playing, y'all really playing with us. We don't appreciate that at all, like for real. So
Right.
shout out to Pro Box for being professional, on time. And not only that, but they had like real legends in the building. You know,
Right.
come fight night like Jorge Linares, Sugar Ray
Right.
Leonard. Yeah, Sugar Ray Leonard. and Mark Two Sharp. So like,
Mhm.
like they had like real legendary fighters, which is like dope. So shout out to Pro Box for that.
Uh, that was cool. Reason I wanted to ask that because me as a viewer and a fan of what Pro Box is doing, I notice every time I watch a card, I'm always I always enjoy the card, and like you said, the process, that's what I wanted you to really explain, and you did. The process is smooth, how they just, not sitting around all day. They moving right along, and us as the viewer watching it from home, that's how it goes. It's very smooth. It's something that I think grew on a lot of people. I think a lot of us really, really rock with ProBox as a platform. So it's good
Yeah, for
to know
sure.
that they run as smooth as it appeared on TV. That's
Yeah,
for us sitting at home. So that I understand how important that is for the the comfortability of the fighter. Like you said, you don't want to be sitting there all day, and it's time to weigh in. It's time to weigh in. If it's time to fight, it's time to fight. And,
yeah,
and some of these platforms that have a whole podcast in between the fight, and they
yeah.
drag.
They be out here killing us, man.
Right. And so, what did you like? I say the most about the experience with ProBox, just the overall process.
Yeah, like I said, everything was
Mhm.
organized. Great people, like you ain't dealing with something like that. Like I like they don't like their job. There's great
Right.
people over there at Pro Box. Um, Everybody was just like open arms. And I'm not even signed to Pro Box. Everything went smooth. They real understanding. Even when it was like difficulties, they made it convenient for us, and especially for me. Like they showed mad
Mm-hmm.
love, so I appreciate that, man.
That's dope. And I noticed you mentioned something about another opportunity that they was willing to give you as well, right?
Yeah. So like so I fought for my fifth fight.
Right.
I was supposed to fight a week before on Pro Box, but
Mm-hmm.
it fell through.
Right.
And they was able to like, they was like, yo, like we gonna try to get you on for the week after, which is the week that I fought. So
Mm-hmm.
like a lot of promotional companies not able to do that. They looked out
Right.
for me and they was able to do it for me. I wasn't on the TV card, but like, at least I was able to get a fight. Same
Yeah.
thing. Like it wasn't 6 rounds, but at least I was able to get in the ring.
Right.
And handle
Yeah.
business for my people and
Right.
just for me.
Right. And that's what's most important, bro. Staying active, man. Like I think because I think I seen you announce that your opponent had fell out initially.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking in my mind, I'm like, oh man, I already know I feel it for you. As soon as I see the post, like, dang, just stay locked in. And then you popped up. I said, oh, he fighting, and I hurried up, click the link, watch you go out there and destroy Buddy in the round. Then I caught that look on your face. I said, I know what I'm seeing. You wanted more work.
Word up, man.
Oh man. So man, moving forward, man. I got a quick I got an interesting question for you. Beyond just wins and losses, right? Wins and losses aside, right? How
Uh-huh.
else do you measure your development and progress as a fighter?
Really in the gym. You understand?
Mhm.
Like right now, fighting, being in the ring, it like I said, I'm supposed to do those things. You
Right.
get what I'm saying? Like I'm supposed to do what I've been doing. Um, but more so like in the gym, my progression is just like even now still is like crazy. Like I'm like getting better about a week. You understand what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like something that I wasn't comfortable doing Monday, I'm doing it and sparring on Saturday easily. You feel me? So it's just like the progression and how quickly it's really something exciting. You feel me? And
Mhm.
yeah, that's what I can say about it.
And that just leads me to my next question. So speaking on that, have you ever surprised your own self with something that you've been able to do within this sport?
Um, Surprise myself.
It could be anything, whether it's your learning curve, because I hear that's what it sounds like. You.
Yeah, sometimes I'm gonna be honest. Like sometimes my coach here, he'll be teaching me something. Right, this is what I say. My coach here be teaching me something,
Mhm.
and not that in my head, I'm real understanding. I'm real open. I got an open mind.
Right.
I'm not one of those closed, like narrow-minded fighters or people. So, I take it in. But as I'm
Mhm.
taking it in, I'm probably like, damn, I could probably do something else that'd be much more efficient you know,
Right.
then this move. You understand what I'm saying? Because in boxing, there's no rule book. You know, you could, if you able to get it off, you get like it worked. You understand what I'm saying? And so sometimes like me having that mindset is like, dang, instead of doing that move, I could have did like 2 other different moves that have been much more easier and efficient.
Mm.
But instead, you know, I listen to my coach. I practice it, you know, trusting the information that he gave me in his teaching, and then unintentionally, I just did it in sparring. Then I hit my coach up like, or I just talked to him about it at the sparring. I was like, yo, coach, like, you seen how I just did that? Like, that's crazy. We was just working on this Monday, you know, and this is already coming into play. Like, that's crazy. So sometimes, like, unintentionally doing things, you know, that's more sort of like the surprising aspect that I have with myself.
That's interesting. That's dope. That's dope. Yeah, man, I want y'all, a lot of times you in the moment and y'all don't even get to appreciate the work that you put in. So every now and then
Yeah,
you get a chance to, you know, sit back and you know, appreciate, you know, the grind. So I
yeah.
know that you turned pro last year in July. What is it, July 6th, I
July
believe.
6th.
July 6th, right? So
Yep.
you're approaching that year mark. You ain't quite there yet.
Right.
Right? You ain't quite there yet. Do you feel like as a young prospect with your 5 fights in that you made the impact that you was looking to make?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like, you know, I feel like within the things that I was able to like and what's in my control, I feel like I did my best ability to, you know, showcase and, you know, put on. And I feel as though, you know, we had other great opportunities and that would have just, you know, blew it out the water for the year. It didn't happen. It wasn't the right time. You know, I'm grateful for what I have, and I trust the process. But it just tell me that I'm going in the right direction. You know, like you know, that's what it tells me. Like, just keep staying focused. You know, don't get sidetracked. Keep on doing what you gotta do. Stay the course, and you know it's gonna be yours. Like, you know, we already there. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I say.
Right. Appreciate that answer, man. I see somebody asking in the chat. Shout out to the family, man. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button, show some love for the channel. If y'all got a question, try to ask it. If I see it, I ask them. Somebody asked me, shout out to my guy CJ, asked how did you get the name Tsunami, the nickname? Oh shit, he popped off. Popped off. He popped off. Either got a call, probably popped off. He'll be back. Shout out to everybody. Smash that like button, y'all. Support the grind. Let's keep building, man. I got a few more questions for Champ before I let him up out of here, but he will be back. He will be back. Y'all hit the like button. And yeah, man, like I said, so far, man, he just been kicking ass, bro. And I think it's gonna continue.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, yeah, nah. It said like the internet over here, so
Nah, it's all good.
log out real quick.
It's all good. So damn, what was I just asking you, man? What did I just ask you? Oh yeah, about your impact, about the impact that you made. So
Right.
what should I say this? I got another question. Where does Keep Cologne stack up with the rest of the prospects?
Oh, I'm at the top. Like, I say that humbly. You feel me? I'm at the top, and I say that just because you know, other fighters, other prospects, you know, they have help, so to say. Like, they got the publicity, the notoriety, like everything you see on me, everything you see that's associated with me is organic, like from zero. Like,
Yeah.
nobody, you understand what I'm saying? Like, nobody, you know, gave me the handout and pulled me up here. Like, everything is organic, and the reason why it is, like, now you see me around certain other fighters, certain other people that's already up there, and that's because of, you know, like, who I am already, my skills already. You know, you just don't be in certain rooms by accidents. You know, so um, that's what I say about that. But I'm up there with all of the prospects. You know, like,
Damn right.
if you ask me, I'm the top prospect. You
Damn
understand?
right.
So
Talk to him.
yeah.
Oh yeah. So yeah, that's my pardon me. It just came back to me. I was asking about the nickname Tsunami. Somebody wanted to know where did you get the name Tsunami from?
Where I got the name Tsunami from. So my dad, he was like in the amateurs coming up. It
Mm-hmm.
was like telling me, you know, people that had their little nicknames. Like shout out Lil Future, he had his nickname.
Mm-hmm.
It
Nice.
was
I
a
like
couple, yeah, it was a couple few other guys, you know, that they kind of had like a nickname that was fire, you know, and it's good for the amateur boxing scene because it's like it just add a little, like it's not the boring just, oh, you
Mm-hmm.
know, such and such. It's like, nah, you know, this person or that person, yeah,
Right.
like you got
Right.
all types of crazy like in the amateurs, you got kids nicknames is crazy, you know, like
Right.
I just imagine like, oh snap, you fighting Tank. Oh, he better, like, you get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
that's how
Add a little flair, a little something
yeah,
to it.
so
Mm-hmm.
exactly. So my dad was like, yo, like, no, like, you know, I think it's time for you to get a nickname. I'm like, I wanted to, I always told him, I'm like, nah, I kept prolonging it. I'm like, nah, I want something that somebody gonna give me, you know, something that, and
Right.
so, and like one of my amateur fights, a dude he had recorded me, you know, like on like an old film, like an old film,
Right.
and he put Keith Cologne, the Wiz Kid, and I'm like, oh, nah, I do not want that to be my nickname. I was like, I was like, oh yeah, nah, I do not want that to be my nickname. I gotta come up with a nickname myself. Like,
Oh man.
I cannot have a crazy
Yeah.
nickname and be out here looking
Right.
crazy like that.
Right.
So, shout out to him though, cause you know he was like
Mm-hmm.
the first one to, you know, and I understand why he
He
said it. You know,
tried it.
yeah, I understand why he said it, and it was dope. But at the same time, I'm like, nah, I want something better than that. And
Yeah.
I just stuck with one that my aunt's boyfriend, he used to always call me every time I came into the crib. He's like, keep tsunami.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, dang, it's just flow. Like it just always flowed, you
Do.
know, maybe
Do.
because I heard it since a young age, but I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
dang, you know, like it's not necessarily like the wave, you know what I'm saying? Like that could be an aspect of it, but really
Mm-hmm.
it's just like keep tsunami, like, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and another person that influenced me to get it was Sue Surf, because like, you know, he from Newark, you know, he one of my favorite rappers. You know, I brought
Mm-hmm.
him heavy, so I'm like, dang,
Mm-hmm.
Sue Surf, keep
Mm-hmm.
tsunami. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I could run with that. I could run with that.
Yes,
You
sir.
know,
From
that's what it
Jersey too.
was.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. Ah, that's dope. That's dope, man. I actually like that, man. So something I wanted to ask you, man, because a lot of times, you know, we ask guys about their styles and who your style like, who do you model your style like, but we're gonna go a little bit deeper than just the style, right? How important, because you know, fighters always recognize their strengths, but how important is it for you as a fighter, young fighter developing, to recognize your weaknesses as well? Not that you got to tell us, but how important is it for you to recognize weaknesses as well as the strengths?
Nah, it's major, man. It's major just because of the fact that like you can't, like, a lot of people think they're invincible. Like
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people think they out here Superman, they gonna knock everybody out. Like me, like it's been almost a year since I turned pro.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? With 5 knockouts, me being 5-0, I still got the same mindset
Right.
that I had when I was an amateur. You know, and that pushes me to continue to be better. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
I'm not invincible. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
I do have bad days, but my goal every time when I step in the ring is like my bad day is better than my opponent's best day. You get what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you might be better than somebody, but you have a bad day, and that person have a great day. So
Mm-hmm.
every time I step in the ring, it's just like that type of aspect, and that's why I'm always willing to, you know, grow, learn, and be coachable, be
Right.
teachable. You know, because it be times like that. Like, yeah, you may be good, but what about when you don't feel your best and your opponent, you know, he feel brand new. You know, it's like
Mm-hmm.
those type of things that play in a factor for me.
Mm-hmm. Right. Appreciate it, man. Uh, um, you know how speaking to that, how important is it for you to remain patient? And the reason I'm asking is right because I interviewed Jasai, pardon me, Jasai, and Nim. I interviewed them and I asked them a similar question, and they both had the same answer. They both said patience. So I'm gonna just ask you, how important is it for you to have patience and trust the process of a young talent?
Man, it's very important. It's like that's and boxing. That's what it's all about. You know, it's all about patience.
Mm-hmm.
In out of the ring. You know, perfect timing is major. Is like before I turned pro, like I got an old head, you know, and he always told me like, yo, like I can't wait. And I'm like, yeah, I can't wait too, because I know it's just going, like, everything that I dreamed of is going to come, you know, fall right into my lap. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, if you being honest, I knew, like, I had confidence that all of this stuff was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm not like all big headed or, you know, crazy about it. But and I know other greater things is going to happen. But it's just having patience and trusting the right time. Like right now, it ain't my time to be in certain places or do certain things. It'll probably be better for me to do it a little bit later. You understand what I'm saying? So it's very important to have patience, trust the process, and always just, you know, make adjustments and go with the flow. You know, it's no, like I said, it's no book to boxing.
Right. Man, that's dope, man. Like I said, man, you I think you wise beyond your years, bro. You 22, but you definitely speak wise beyond your years for sure. You know, and why I got you here, bro, I ain't gonna keep you too much longer. I got some more questions though, but something I wanted to talk to you about, because you're a fighter and, you know, something that you might be familiar with, obviously, right? And I wanted to ask you about weight cut, and reason why, you know, I'm even going here with it, because, you know, I notice a lot of guys, you know, everybody has to go through that process, right? But what do you think about guys really like shrinking themselves down to make a weight and fight? Like I hope that you haven't had to go through nothing like that this early in your career, but I know you see it. Like, I don't know if you know, you probably locked in. I don't know if you've been keeping up with it. It's a fight coming up this weekend with Chris Eubank, Conor Ben.
Yeah.
Chris Eubank, I don't know if you've seen him. I mean,
he missed weight, right?
And then did you see him climb up out of they had him like cocooned up and sleeping
Yo, I'm gonna
bag?
be honest. A lot of fighters do that. You know.
What's your thoughts on that? How, like, do you think that's dangerous? And
yeah, it's definitely dangerous. But I'm gonna say this. You feel me? This what I'm gonna say too. You know, if you able to do that, you know, and you able to win and perform well, hey, kudos to you. You understand what I'm saying? Kudos to you. But you know, me, like I feel like that's like cutting weight. We young, you know what I'm saying? We young. Boxing, you know, they retire fairly early, around the 30s, mid 30s, late 30s. You understand what I'm saying? And that's because of stuff like cutting weight. You understand? It's not natural for your intestines to be fully empty for like 3, 4, 5 days. You know what I'm saying? It's not natural for you to suck all the water out your body and then put it in the next day and then go on and put your body through physical damage fighting. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, people do it. Hey, kudos to them. You know, sometimes, you know, boxing is like who has leverage. You understand? Sometimes you gotta kind of, you know, take a couple risks, do some things in order to get a greater reward. You understand what I'm saying? So, if it worked for them, it worked for them. You know, some people, they get a little far-fetched with it and they try to overdo it. But you know, that's another reason why, you know, the fights went from 15 rounds to 12 rounds. You know what I'm saying? Because people was dying in the ring from like cutting weight and then fighting the next day. You know, so like that's another, like, you see people die in boxing, and it's been like coming like a more known common thing, and it's for reasons like this. You understand what I'm saying? So some fighters, they able to get away with it and live a healthy life. Others is not so fortunate.
All right, man. See, man, I appreciate the insight spoken from a fighter, man. Like, that, it's no better source to get it from than somebody that has to go through those things. And I just thought that was a little alarming, because before you got up here, that's something we was talking about while I was getting to, you know, talking to the family. Man, I see that guy shrinking down like that, and he just looked like, you know, he's trying to flex, but he looked like it's killing him to even do that. And I'm like, oh man, I hope he rehydrate when it's time. And on top of being in that kind of shape, he missed the weight, got fined $500,000, $500,000 for 0.5, and now he can't weigh in the next day over 170. So it's like he got his work cut out for him, and I've seen him take a loss with a similar situation, killing himself to make the weight. And I hate to see a fighter go through that, because I feel like y'all sacrifice so much as it is to be able to give us a fight. You get what I'm saying? And that I hope he know what he doing.
Definitely.
Hope you know what he's doing. But more, moving forward, man. I wanted to ask you if you could change something about boxing, right? If it was anything you could change about boxing, what would it be?
There's one thing I could change about boxing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, one is if, like, you know how to build up, people talking trash. Like, sometimes people get out of hand. Like some people deserve to get smacked up for real, or like harmed before the fight. I wish that we was able to do that and not get penalized, or the fighter still go through so you get paid. Cause sometimes people be asking for it. That's one thing. The second thing is what's one thing I can change about boxing?
So he basically saying less fines for putting hands on people if they get out of hand.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, it's
Man,
a fight.
Keith chose violence, y'all, bro. Bro chose violence.
Like, it should be like a purge or something where like all violence up to this date is legal. You feel me? So,
oh man, keep
like,
Cologne for mayor, man. Keep Cologne for mayor, man.
That's how I see it. But on a serious note, I don't know, man. I really don't know. I want to say, yeah, I don't know.
Judges,
it's a hard question.
Judges.
What I would say is something about like something got to change with like these crazy like
scorecards.
Yeah, like these crazy scorecards. Like when fights is like clear as day.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, we ain't putting no bias into it.
Yeah.
And this fight is not like, whatever. It should be reviewed. And how I think it should be reviewed is like we get 10 random judges that don't have no type of association with no other judges.
Mm-hmm.
They judge the fight round by round. And you get like do it like 3 times. And if these judges all come up with similar scorecards, then these other judges that had it going a different way when it was clearly one way, they should get fined. They should get their license revoked, and that fighter should not have that loss, and there should be a rematch. That's what I think.
You think
because
you think they should have to explain their scorecards at the end of the fight? Because you notice how y'all get interviewed, you make a mistake, you could get knocked out, and they out here, well, what, why did you make that move and get knocked? You got to explain in your lowest moment why you made a move, but they could give you a bogus scorecard and they go home.
Yeah, and definitely. Or if they don't explain it to us, they got to explain it to somebody because, if we being honest, like this is our way of living. Now in this era of boxing, one loss could put you on the wrong side of like the whole division. You get what I'm saying? Like you could have been a top contender. You get robbed from a crazy fight. Now it's like you gotta work your way back up from the bottom. It's just like dang, and it really like it's like almost it's the difference between you getting a raise every 2-3 years and you going back to minimum wage. Like that's what it basically is. You get what I'm saying? So like that's messed up.
You know something else I wanted to point out though when I asked you about, I noticed I asked you about the judges, right? But more recently they had something like a judge cam or something like that, and it was showing you like the vantage point of the judges, all 3 of them. Do you know all of them see something different?
Oh yeah, for sure.
It needs to be changed. Like when you get some time, go check it out. See if you could find a video of them showing you like from what the judges see. It's like it's almost impossible. It's like, bro, they got the worst view in the damn fight. I'm like, that's terrible. I started to understand why some of them scorecards get wild. Not that it's cool, because sometimes it's bleeding, but when they put that perspective up there and gave it, what they actually see, I was like, wow, it's just so much you can't see. I think they need to rearrange where they sit so they can see the fight more clearly.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I hate to see y'all put in that much work, and then I hate to see something get taken from y'all. I hate those decisions like that drive me crazy as a fight fan. I hate to see it, bro. And something has to be done about it. Something.
Definitely, man.
Right. So moving forward, man. What I wanted to ask you, man. When you hear the word legacy, man, what does legacy mean to you?
Legacy means something that can't be taken away.
I like that.
Yeah, that's what I say. Something that can't be taken away. A belt could be taken away. Your record could be, you know, like your O could be taken away off your record. But your legacy is gonna always be stamped. You know, whether you here or not. You know what I'm saying? So it's something that you leave behind for years to come.
Right. I love that answer, bro. I might steal it one day when we having conversation. Like that, I never heard somebody's legacy is something nobody could take from you. And you're right.
Facts.
And then you elaborate. It could take a belt, you could lose your O, but that legacy, when you cement it, it's cemented. That's dope, man. That's real. So something else I wanted to ask, with the success that you had early, right? We've seen all kind of guys, get ahead of themselves, lose focus, start feeling themselves early in the game. What keep Cologne grounded?
I really say my mindset. I don't, like I said before, like I still see myself the same person I saw myself before I even turned pro, before I had these 5 fights, before I had 5 knockouts, before I had more notoriety. I still see myself as the same person. I try not to get big headed. It's good to celebrate, all your wins and accomplishments, but at the same time, it's like still work to be done. You understand? Like like I said, when I was in the amateur, I knew this would come. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and now when I'm here, I know that I have more to come. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's like I really don't have like much to be celebrated. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's more out there for me. And when I get there, then maybe I'll celebrate it. Or maybe I'll be like, nah, it's still more for me to take on. So, it's just that game of just wanting to be great and be better.
Dope, man. And earlier I asked you about fighting on different platforms and different things like that. Something I also wanted to ask you, man. What's your thoughts? I don't believe I asked you this about fighting in Saudi Arabia one day.
Man, I love to fight out there. Like I know. Like I said, I'm real close with a lot of people in the boxing world. So like a lot of coaches, that they have fighters that fought out there. My coach even had a fighter that fought out there one time, and I heard nothing but great things about Saudi Arabia, man. I heard, like I say, experience, whether you fighting or just visiting, like everybody say experience at least once in their life, So I heard nothing but great things, and I heard they got the best cologne too. That's what I heard.
Really, that's dope. That's
Yeah,
funny,
for real,
man.
that's what I
That's
heard.
funny. That's funny. I like that answer because people. I think the way Saudi Arabia was introduced to us, people had a lot of mixed feelings. But again, it's
Definitely.
always good to hear the different perspective of somebody that could actually be in a situation where you're fighting there. Because I could definitely see it happening. I mean, need to
Sure.
speak it into existence. They need Tsunami Cologne over there in Saudi. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They
for
looking for
sure.
good performances. Y'all know where to come, man. But that's dope. What's your thoughts on Turkey, real quick? Turkey Al-Sheikh.
Um, I feel like he's adding a different aspect of boxing, which I love, giving people more opportunities. Like I said, this is our way of living, and him coming into the game, giving people more opportunities. All levels of where they at in their career. Um, that like I'm all for it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm all for it.
I just appreciate the answers, man. Hearing it from fighters, man. Because us fight fans, bro, a lot of us is just we ain't like the introduction to the
Yeah,
Saudi
yeah,
Arabia, the boxing, and Turkey Al-Sheikh. A lot of people ain't feeling them, but like I said, I just think it's a different perspective with somebody that actually boxes, somebody that could find themselves in that position, and that's why I always. Before you came up here, I was telling people that try to put yourselves in the shoes of these fighters sometimes, man, and if you're a fighter and you from the States and you don't fought all over and that's the opportunity, you don't turn that down. Why would you? So
yeah,
it was dope that you answered that. And Saudi is it, man. Told y'all, Saudi, man, y'all need a top tier fighter. Y'all know where to come, man. Tsunami
yeah.
Cologne, man.
Down to take that 14-hour flight, man. Hit me.
Yeah, because from what Shakur said, they said that Saudi money a little different too out here. So you're
Yeah.
always it's always a good thing. But something I wanted to ask you, how important is winning a world title to you?
It's important. It's definitely important. I feel like nowadays, I'm gonna speak in general real quick. Nowadays, it's not as important, but for me, like, that's something that I definitely want to do. Like, we talked about legacy. That's something that nobody could take away from me. Like, that I've won a world title. But now we really talking about, like, being undisputed, winning all the world titles. Now that, if the opportunity comes, then it makes sense. But it's so many rules and regulations now. Like, they kind of killing the sport of boxing, man. I feel like people don't understand that. But winning a world title is definitely something that I'm interested in. Is one of my goals.
And how do you balance, you think, when it's all said and done, the legacy versus like the money part of it, right? You got people, legacy, money. Some people think it go hand in hand. How do you feel about it? Should I say? Let me ask that. How do you feel? Do you feel legacy and the money go hand in hand? Or do you chase the legacy and the money comes, or vice versa?
They definitely go hand in hand, because I feel as though, like for example, once you have a world title, now you can get them big fights, big money fights. So it kind of goes hand in hand. But at the same time, I am not one of those fighters like how I'm back in the day. It's like, oh, this is a great fighter, da da da, and then 20 years later, he has nothing to show for. You understand what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, that's not something that I definitely need, the money to be there just as much as the legacy, if not more.
Right. You see, and that's just a real answer. It's a genuine answer, because like, people say it all the time. You hear certain fighters say, I can't feed my family with no belts and no trinkets. So if I ain't getting that bread, you get me. It's a hell of an answer, because a lot of times us from the outside looking in, we don't understand the moves that the fighters make. We like, why ain't you chasing the belts? That dude just got an opportunity to make some money that he might not come across again. You weighing it out. A belt that you get old and collect dust versus a situation, financial gain that could change the situation. So I
And if
like
we being realistic, a belt that we gotta pay somebody else that we earn. That makes zero sense. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Zero sense.
Right. Something else. I got a couple more questions. Some I wanted to ask, man. I asked you about Saudi fighting in Saudi Arabia, right? But aside from that, you got a dream location, man. Like, if you could pick any location to fight at, where would you want to fight?
I already fought in my dream location, Prudential Center, but like now that I've completed that, it's like I want to say New York. MSG, Barclays Center. I feel like though, New York is like the stomping grounds for celebrities. You get what I'm saying?
You're like the Barclays.
Yeah, it's just dope when you fighting, and you know how mid in the middle of the rounds they go out like, oh, this celebrity here, this celebrity here, this celebrity here, like the MSG, the Barclays, is stomping ground for celebrities to come watch boxing, and that's so I say MSG or Barclays.
And again, just to follow up about the titles, certain fighters, they're specific about what title they want first or which one they chasing. Is it any other the 4 titles that you specifically want versus the other? Maybe WBC, IBF, Ring Magazine. Some people.
As of right now, I'm not fully aware of like the stipulations that come with having a title. But if I'm not mistaken, whichever belt, I know one of them do have it. Whichever belt come with like rehydration clauses, I don't want. Like, I'm not gonna say I don't want. I'm not gonna say I don't want, but I'm not a big
I know
fan
what
of
you
that.
mean. That's the IBF you talking about.
IBF, I love y'all, but that will definitely be negotiated. Hard. That will be negotiated. Very hard.
No more rehydration clauses,
Yeah,
and that's the crazy part. Not only did Chris
especially
Eubank,
on the champ, like, is you
Not only did Chris Eubank miss the weight and can't go over 170, it's a rehydration clause in the contract. So he kind of all jammed up. He really got to be on point. He got to be careful what he eat, drink, like everything. It's crazy.
You got to be careful. He don't breathe too much air.
It's crazy, right? So, man, one of my final questions I got for you, man. what advice would you give to the next kid that coming up trying to be the next Keith Cologne?
My advice to them would be just like I'm able to do it. You know, they could do it. Um, all it takes is for them to believe in themselves and a strong team. You know, that's what I say. Another piece of advice I say is have somebody around you that's always better than you, or that's already stepped like levels ahead of you. You know, that kind of paved the way for you, that you could just follow in their footsteps. It'll make your life easier. Like you'll see the things. You know, sometimes you able to skip certain obstacles just by having somebody around you that already done it. Like, nah, you know, like, trust me, I done did this, like that right there. You want to do it this way? I'm telling you, you know, having like that's why I said strong team, somebody that's kind of like already like levels in front of you, so to say, not even better than you, but just like they already they where you want to be. You get what I'm saying? So that's what I say.
Right, man, that's dope, man. And
You ain't gotta be fanned out. You ain't gotta be none of that. It's just, you know, like skills respect skills. You get what I'm saying? So you can have as long as you good, willing to learn. I bet you that person to be like, hey, yo, I seen you getting sharp. Like, you feel me? And that's where it go from there.
Right. And final message, man. What message would you like to leave for the fans that listened in today, man? And when can we expect you back in the ring, if you know?
Yeah, I just want to say, shout out Jusdueboxing. Appreciate y'all for always having me. It's always a great interview. You said when can they see me back in the ring?
Back in the ring, because man, these 1 rounds, man, it's just leaving us, man. We like, damn, we wanted to see him fight someone. But that's the beauty of it. That we gonna keep watching. We gonna keep supporting.
For sure. I'm not too sure exactly when. It talks about July 7th. I'm in the gym now. You know what I'm saying? I've been in the gym. So I'm you know, once they give me something solid and I'm able to sign off, then you know the public will know. That's how
Man. Let us know, man. Stay locked in, man. Like I said, you're ahead of your time. You can tell you've been brought up the right way. You got the right people around you. Big shout out to your pops for always staying in communication. Like I said, I'm just glad to be a part of the journey the whole way through. Keep seeing you do your thing. You're gonna keep winning, man. It's more about the ass to be, you know, dished out. And man, real quick before we forget, y'all have to text me shirt sizes, you and Pops. I got some
for sure
too, so you know I'm gonna make sure y'all both get a shirt from
Most definitely. Appreciate that. Thank you.
You gonna keep rocking what you keep, man. Listen, stay grinding, man. Stay sharp, man, and tap back in when you get some news, maybe when you back in the ring or after the fight. You know how we do, man. You're ready over here, man.
Most definitely. Appreciate you, my guy.
Have a good one, man.
You too.
All right. Shout out to dog Keith TSUNAMI Cologne, man. It's always a pleasure to talk to the young champ. Like I said, you see how he think, he wise beyond his years. It's a good conversation. Like I said, I know we've interviewed her several times, but we want to, I just want to keep trying to get in depth with him, man, and get the people, how the people understand who they supporting, man. It's a good kid, man, just want to win, and he gonna put the work in to do it. He understands the value of hard work, having the right kind of team, staying focused, staying grounded. We got to hear a lot of the way he think, man. So as he continue to grow through his career, we just gonna continue to build with him, support him, and rock out, man. I feel like that's how it's supposed to be, and I just think it's a plus that he really putting on for Jersey, putting on for Newark in a big way. And I'm just gonna always salute him for that. And my voice sound like it's going out. Shout out to my baby girl. Said color for the chat, helping the channel grow. Keith, which is so yeah. So I'm gonna make sure I get their shirt sizes so we can get them to him. Appreciate my baby girl supporting me as always. We're gonna get to it. Shout out to my baby girl, man. Look like he stay in shape. Yeah, he do. Yeah, man. Some more color in the chat. Keep when you're gonna just do walk with you down in the ring. Man. Damn. Next time we gonna get that. I'm so sorry. I should have pulled that up because that's one of my things, man. That's one of my bucket list things, man. I gotta do me a ring walk or two, bro. Dante's Boxing Talk. Shout out to the Queen Tay Tay. How you feeling? The real queen in MMA combat. The ghetto fab too. Yeah, he wasn't feeling the Wiz kid, man. Dub J, what it do? Crush the legend, my homie. Teach. CJ in the building. Yes, sir. GQ was good with it, man. That was a good build, man. Shout out to Keith, man. Always a good chop up, man. So it's always good to hear from him, man. Just keep seeing him grow, man. His first fight, first round, his last fight, April 12th, first round knockout, man. He polished dude off. Like I said, I was right. I told y'all your boy know a little something, man. I seen the look on his face. I was like, nah, he wanted so much more, but he like, man, on to the next. And that's why I asked him about like fights falling out. And I told y'all, even early in his career, before he can really develop the boogeyman label or any of that stuff, he already had that type of issues getting guys to get in the ring. I told y'all it don't be having nothing to do with people being scared and ducking. Now, listen, I'm not saying that's never been the case where somebody's never been hesitant or didn't want to fight somebody because of what could happen if they lose. I'm not saying that's not the case, but more times than not, there are other factors at play that stop these fights from coming to fruition. And it's a lot of times it'd be out of either fighter's control. It'd be something that just out of either guy's control. You know what I mean? Something that pop up. Maybe somebody didn't get approved for a physical. Now all of a sudden the fight off. You get me? So it's just a lot of different deciding factors, man, that go into fights being made and why they may or may not get made. So, man, it's good. I appreciate the insight. Young fighter, he's smart. You see, and not a full-time fighter by the standards of YouTube, right? Oh, he's in school, so he don't take boxing serious, right? You see how silly that sounds when you see how, I know it's early, but you see how locked in he is. You see how dedicated he is. That shit ain't stopping him from being hungry. You get what I'm saying? That just means that, boxing, people don't make the money that you think they make, and it's not as lucrative when you at that lower level where you could just remain, just only focus on boxing and that's it. So a lot of these guys have to do other things, and he's smart. He in school, he locked in. I could have got into that a little bit more too, because I think he majored in this. Did they say sports psychology? I got to go fact check that. But smart kid, man. That's why I say you could tell by the answers and the intellect, how he respond to things, man. He got a bright future, man. There's no way. There's no way he ain't got my full support. Like, I'm talking about win, lose, or draw. I don't give a damn about no win. I support the individual, your why you here. You get what I'm saying? What you represent. I support that 1,000,000%. So it's just fun to continue to see him grow and winning these fights, getting these guys out of here, because he don't play no games. And he don't be in a rush to eat his food, but he ain't playing no games. Like, he got his guy right the hell up out of there. He wasn't playing no games with him. He had that look like, dang, man, he wanted more of a challenge. And you see, he wanted to fight his most experienced guy to date, because these guys have little, goals and things that they want to achieve, little notches, boxes they want to check off on their way up the ladder too. And for a young fighter like him, if I'm not speaking for him, one reason why he might have been a little disappointed, like he he's supposed to get the guy out, but the guy he was initially supposed to fight probably would have been able to take him some rounds, right? Because he ain't been past the second round. He got 8 rounds in, and not even 8 full total rounds. He got 8 rounds in and 5 knockouts. So he cleaning these dudes up. He's sharp. His work is clean. He really good balance, vision, got good eyes, reflexes. Like, it's just a lot of talent there. So it's a lot to like, and he's only growing. He's gonna be beating some ass. So I'm excited to see what's next for him. Big shout out to Big Keith as well, man. We just gonna keep rocking with y'all, man. But I ain't gonna be here too much longer. Real quick, I just wanted to run over the stuff that we was talking about. As y'all seen it, man, we got this fight with Chris Eubank and Conor Benn. I was an advocate for Chris Eubank possibly pulling this off, but after seeing that weigh-in, y'all, I'm not sure. I'm not too sure about that. He looked terrible. It looked scary. I level and I truly I sympathize with Chris Eubank Sr. I really do. I'm not even being funny when I say that. I just try to put myself in his shoes. And if I was a fighter, if I was a former fighter that known to put somebody in a hospital, change somebody's career forever, Big Supreme, what it do, homie? You get what I'm saying? Change somebody's life forever. Now you're asking my son to go in here and strip his body and brain of fluids that he need to be successful and to perform at peak level. Now you're asking him to strip himself down and fight a guy that's a blown up 47-pounder at 160. Like, and Pops is so legit that he's genuinely looking at the damage that it could cause on the other side as well for Conor Ben going back down. He also recognized the danger that the fight in itself possessed, because he feels like Conor Ben is a dangerous guy. You get me? So shout out to Chris Eubank Sr. Like I said, I took a complete 180. I felt like he was being a little sensitive. I was on some let your man fight, let your son fight. You fought before, you got to let him do him. I wasn't trying to hear what he was saying. I was being a little ignorant, and that ain't like me. You know what I'm saying? I'm always trying to understand. And then I had to revisit it and really think about what he was saying. And like, hold on, he's speaking about health. He not thinking about no damn money. Like, what good is the money if your health is compromised permanently to a point where you can't even enjoy it? That's where Pops is at. So I level with Chris Eubank Sr. Shout out to Conor Ben and Chris Eubank Jr. for making the fight. But I hope that man know what he's doing, and I hope it's not another situation like it was with the first Liam Smith fight where he go out there and get knocked out. I truly hope that don't happen to him, man. I would hate to see that, you know. So we're going to see this fight. Maybe we call it tomorrow or something, have some fun. My birthday is Sunday. Maybe we do a marathon birthday stream or something Sunday, early Sunday. I don't know. We're going to figure it out, y'all, but we're going to keep building. I seen a video real quick because we're going to run through this, man. I want to just lead the interview. Fabric G's, what it do? Yeah, he wasn't being overly extra. It was me being overly extra. Yeah, man, for sure, bro. For sure. Fabric G's, what it do? Dr. Boxing Talk, my guy. What's good with it, bro? How you feeling? Appreciate you, family. Yeah, he wasn't looking good at all, so I'm a little concerned for him, and I just don't know if I can pick him to win. So that's that. You know what I mean? May the best man win, but I'm still pulling for him, but it's spooky. And as far as I had seen a video with Richardson Hitchins. He had went on YSM, and he had talked about Tank being scared to lose. And I seen a lot of different people having reactions from the fight, from what Richardson Hitchins said. When he said Tank is scared to lose, that wasn't a slight. He didn't say it that way. He's saying Tank is a guy that, that's what motivates him, not losing. He don't want to lose. He know that all it takes is a little slip up and all this shit is different, right? So that motivates him to stay hungry, stay motivated, and constantly push. So a guy like him that has a wake up call, like he'll use this draw with Lamont Roach as a wake up call and to light a fire up under his ass to remotivate him, refocus, and lock in over again, right? So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he admitted that it's facts, Ozell. So it's like when people hear another guy say it, they're like, oh, really? He's hating on him. And no, he not. He's just telling you what Tank already said. And that's why I love when Tank was being transparent when he talked about losing. Like, that's something that these guys go through. They're not Superman. Them thoughts go through their head. They know that on any given night you could lose, especially when you're a guy like Tank. That's why I said, miss me with all that shit that people scared of him because he punch hard. These fighters that get the opportunity to fight Tank Davis wouldn't want nothing more than to be able to knock him off and get everything that comes with beating a guy of that stature. Don't give me this shit that they scared. Because if I had to ask you at home, are you scared? If you get an opportunity, a life-changing opportunity, are you going to be scared? In any phase of life, you get an opportunity to change your life for the better, are you going to be scared? Hell no, because it ain't logical. You thinking about what could come from that. Not if you failed doing it. You thinking about the good and what could come from it. And that is what a lot of people consider when they get in there with Tank. And contrary to popular belief, regardless of the name that he is or is not getting in there with, he's going to get sort of the best version of this guy because they going to be motivated to try to beat him. You get what I'm saying? So I think a lot of these guys are, I don't know if the word used is scared, but a lot of these guys are hesitant to lose and they don't want to lose. You know what I'm saying? And that's just real. They just don't want to. You know what I'm saying? So much love to everybody, man. I appreciate y'all rocking out again, man. Another dope build for the YouTube books, man. I don't know, man. It's Friday, man. We might come back with a late live depending on how we feeling, man. We might come back and talk some more boxing, but I wanted to keep this interview not too long, man. Much love to both Big Keith and Keith Cologne, man. We rocking with y'all. Like I said, y'all stay tapped in. Everybody turn y'all notifications on. Make sure y'all hit the like button for your boy. Keep supporting the grind, and we going to keep building, y'all. I enjoy the rest of this Friday. Saturday, we got the fights. Sunday is my birthday. We're going to have some fun, man. We're going to keep building, as we always do. So with that, we're going to get up out of here, y'all. Peace to the fam.
Yo, you know the deal. We back again. We never slacking. Word 'em up. Ladies and guys, whether if you drunk or you high, it's time to pay respects to the illest man alive. If you think you got a point, he'll shrink you down to size. And from there it's downhill like a slinky or a slide. Open your eyes, got a deep connection with the rise, so you might see them jump in whenever they go live. Peep it, this channel blowing up now, it's not a secret. With tons of exclusive interviews to listen to. Them other channels I hate, but yo, they missing clues. They start narratives, sip the goose and twist the truth. It don't take a rocket scientist to get the proof. Just click the live at 4 p.m. Eastern time. But when you chime in, make sure you keep it kind. But if cowards want to debate, then it's feasting time. My man Jusdu shine, busy all the time. Grind 24/7, 365. Videos he might have 365. My rhyme sick, they make you do a 365. You get a rich if you think you fit to survive. It's Jusdueboxing, time to click the live. Ain't no beginners, if you soft, you ain't down to ride. I crush you, respect too, it's Jusdu. He got the illest boxing show on the internet. The boy been a threat and he ain't even had dinner yet. Word 'em up. Yeah. You know what time it is. $4 p.m. Eastern. Click the link.
In the building. Make sure y'all subscribe to Jusdueboxing, the best boxing talk on YouTube.
Jusdueboxing in the building, 4 o'clock shorty, man. Y'all make sure y'all check him out. He's going to be live today at 4 o'clock, man. And he's going to be spewing some good stuff as he always do with an unbiased approach, man. He's probably the most unbiased channel on YouTube.
What's going on? And one of my favorite channels, if y'all into that pugilistic perfection, if y'all into that boxing, that's that boy Jusdueboxing here on YouTube. Make sure y'all check out Jusdueboxing, the only unbiased boxing channel on YouTube, because I am definitely biased when I talk about boxing. So
as always, we got to shout out everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to my brother Jusdu. Y'all make sure y'all go sub to Just, man. Just doing a hell of a job over there. Had a great interview today. The brother, and I say it respectfully, one of the most non-biased individuals that I've ever heard speak on the sport of boxing. And I got a lot of love and respect for my brother Jess, man. And